Hello everyone, it's Nen from Insightful Vibrations. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Thank you for subscribing, and I encourage you to do so if you have not already. And I appreciate all the likes because they help me understand which videos are useful to you, and that will help me improve the delivery of my forecasts. And as usual, we will start with the astrology for the week of July 3rd to 9th, 2017, and then I will append a video for each zodiac sign, and we'll use the Lenormand Gilded Reverie deck to deliver that forecast for each zodiac sign. Now remember that these are general forecasts, and therefore not all comments will apply to all people, except that the astrology will apply to most people. And when you're watching those videos, you should watch your sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign or ascendant, because those will collectively give you a more comprehensive picture. So what's going on in the skies today? Well, it's a fascinating week, I'll tell you, because we start off very gently with the moon in Libra, and then it transitions into Scorpio, and then into Sagittarius, and then into Capricorn, culminating in a full moon on July 9th. So the week does intensify somewhat midweek, and then again on Sunday, the day of the full moon. Now the full moon will happen in the wee hours of Sunday, so just shortly after midnight here in the Stony Creek, Ontario, Canada region, and of course you'll have to check the sources you have to determine when it will happen in your area if you are not in this region. And we also have some nice aspects here with planets forming congenial relations, and the first one is July 4th. On that date we have Mercury squaring Uranus. Now we know that squares are intense sort of alignments, but at the same time they can be reward producing or breakthrough producing kind of effects. So with this one, Mercury is all about communication. It's all about thought process. It's all about technology, transportation, those kinds of things. And Uranus is that really wild card planet that gives us these wild ideas that nobody's ever thought of, these very forward-thinking ideas, the eccentricities, the sort of electrical charge we need to keep stimulated in life and make things happen and change. And this very transformative planet being in a square aspect to Mercury means that all kinds of things could shake up in the communication, transportation, technology realms. I believe that those of you who are writing, who are communicating, who are journalists, who are lawyers, who are paralegals, who are basically authors of novels or any kind of communication efforts, even blogs, I feel that you will absolutely shine this week with this, and you may even think of an innovative way to present your material, present your ideas, and present some very novel ideas this week. So this is a really, really nice aspect. And this includes all of you videographers out there who have YouTube channels and other channels out there. Then on July 5th, we have the Sun trining Neptune. The Sun is all about the individual. It's our life force. It's our willpower. It's what makes us shine. And Neptune, currently retrograde up until the third week of November 2017, is the planet of illusion. It's the planet of dreams, of hopes, of wishes, and also the planet that can, make us a little bit laid back. So with the Sun in a beautiful, relaxed trine with Neptune, we may feel that we have a tendency to shirk our responsibilities sometimes. So keep your schedule in balance. Make sure you get your work done, but also make sure you get the appropriate R&R. And if you feel that your to-do list is getting longer than you care, or that it's just not being checked off enough this week, maybe you should just give that some conscious effort to change that, because it will be pulling at you to relax a little bit more this week. Now this is a fantastic trine for those of you who are on vacation, so enjoy that. Then on July 5th we have the Sun squaring Jupiter, and again where the squares are usually intense sort of events, I think that the Sun square Jupiter is generally positive, because, as long as you know to keep in check, any arrogance, any outlandishness about, any outlandish ideas about yourself, as long as you don't become over grandiose this week, I think this is just a wonderful planet, because you have, the planet of benevolence, Jupiter, squaring the sun. And, when they tug at each other, they're both benevolent, celestial bodies. When they tug at each other like that, to me, it just means more of good things. It's just that, you have to find that balance and not go overboard. I also feel that with July 7th, Mercury sextiling Venus, this is a really, really nice, chance for all of you to make money off your communication, transportation, and technology sort of issues. And, this will be really great for those of you who are trying to think of new ways to generate income or revenue. And also it may, bring communications about money that are positive, also communications about love. So this is very, very positive. On July 9th, then, we culminate into the full moon at 17 degrees Capricorn. And basically what we have here is Capricorn being a very mature sign, a sign of structure, a sign of, steady building up of your life in general. It's very much a career-oriented sign. It's very much, the sign that helps give civilization its structure. So it's a very important full moon, because what this means is that the full moon will be expecting you to culminate whatever you're working on, and give it some structure, give it some form. You've been working on this pottery, and if it's still looking like wet clay, it's not happening. It's not going to be what you desire. But if you start actually, forming it and baking it and giving it whatever TLC you can, I feel that you can really build a long-lasting structure, because that's what Capricorns do. They build long-lasting structures. And that's what this full moon can represent. Now, we also have some real action in the stars. Well, the stars are fixed, so they don't really act per se. But what happens is that they have their own energies based on the alignments with other planets. Usually when they form conjunctions, we see some kind of activity that is related to the mythology of the star or star set. And what we have this week is quite a bit of action here. And unfortunately, with the full moon, we also have a culmination of energies that day that are very, very intense. These could even be violent energies of some kind. They could be energies that make people feel very egotistical, sort of taking on the attitude of my way or the highway. And this could play itself out on the world stage as well. I do feel that, we have some very positive stars coming up where breakthrough effects can be made, especially in the arts and writing. These are all supported by the fixed stars this week. But we have this star set Algol, and it is really a nasty star, or at least it's associated with nasty events, often dangerous, what we would call evil or violent events. And this could be anything to do with any extremism. It could be to do with, people being disillusioned or even downright criminals. So do take extra care in the 5 days leading up to the full moon, and also on the night of the full moon and the full day of the full moon. Do take care that you don't come across any unscrupulous individuals. Of course, if this plays itself out on the world stage, there's not much most of the common people can do about it, but you can be principled enough and communicate your views to those in power, and hopefully things will go smoother. And I also feel there's a real breakthrough effect with the stars this week. So if you're looking for a break, this may be your week. It may be a week where you can really change the pattern of things. So if you've been in the doldrums, if you've dealt with issues of forgiveness, this is the time to release all that, and that way you'll move forward. So I do hope that all of you have a wonderful week, and here are your zodiac forecasts for each sign. Take care. Hello Capricorn, Sun sign, Moon sign, and Rising sign folks. This is your forecast for the week of July 3rd to 9th, 2017. We drew the fish, number 34, over to the far left, and that signifies how your week will be, generally. And then we have card number 13, the child, card number 7, the snake, card number 29, the woman, card number 24, the swans or the heart, card number 30, the lilies, and card number 11, the whip. So I think this is a very dynamic and exciting week for you Capricorn folks. Let's look at the fish first of all. The fish is amazing. This is great because it's all about expansion. Lots of people floating around. I mean, you've got the Queen of Clubs, you've got the King of Spades, you've got the Jack of Clubs, you've got the King of Spades, you've got Jack of Hearts. So you've got a lot of people activity this week. There's going to be a lot of people around you, and some of them may be children. So if you're, for example, engaging in activities involving children like daycare or camp or other things, or you're just gathering your children home after a year of schooling and so on, you may really be very, very busy. Do be careful though, because there is a potential for some kind of infection or, some kind of fever or some kind of food poisoning. There's all this going on with the whip and the snake. This is a sudden onset of something. So do take care that food that is prepared for these children, or if you're sending your children off to camp, make sure you know where you're sending them so that things are up to standard and that there's no food spoilage, and so on. But I also feel with the fish and the child, there's going to be a lot of money coming to you regarding children or over children, or something even to do with creative endeavors. And this could be anything from astrology and divination, astrology and divination, to art, sports, theater, cinema, creativity of all kinds, design, anything that requires the right brain. So that is very, very promising. And with the heart there, it's talking about, anything you want to start with a partnership of some kind relating to these kinds of activities will also be very good. You also have the heart, pardon me, for a different reason. You also have the heart for a different reason. And that is that there may be some real affection this week. And you may have more than one fish in the sea that is tugging at your heart. So this is going to be a week of, being creative and how you're going to manage this decision making here of which fish it is you want to spend your time with. And with the lilies, I do feel you'll find the solution. I feel you'll find contentment and peace. And I do feel you'll find the harmony with it. But the lilies can also signify elderly people, and there may be an elderly woman around you who is having some difficulties with her health, signified by the snake. This could be anything with arteries, or it could be anything with the intestinal tract, anything like that. And you may find that there's a sudden onset of this. So this is a development that you may have to work through now. Some of you obviously aren't going to experience this because this is a general reading, and I can't speak to every single of the millions of Capricorns out there in the world, but this is something that some of you may experience. So do take care if you have an elderly parent around, or even if you prepare food for the elderly. Just be careful, because there's something flaring up here for a lot of you Capricorn folks. I also feel that there is sudden onset of new love coming in with the whip there. I feel that with the woman there is somebody new that will be introduced to you. But with the snake there, I have to say, you have to be careful and make sure they're not attached already, because not everybody cares, and they'll want to form as many unions as they can or are able to or want to. So if you don't share those same values, you're going to have to make sure that this person is available to you. And of course, the woman usually signifies a female, but it can signify a male with a female denoted zodiac sign or more feminine characteristics. So that's your week. I think there's a lot of action, and I hope you enjoy it. Take care.